This podcast is brought to you in part by P&P Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse podcast. This is episode number 71, recording a little bit later than we would have hoped. Although this recording is actually earlier today than it should be, but the episode is later than it should. This is confusing. I think it's all that Doctor Who you've been watching, Steven. All this, the Time Lord stuff is getting involved here.
I was waiting for you to blame the Time Lord. They always blame the Time Lord.
So it is called Time Lord?
He's a Time Lord, yeah. That's what people refer to his species as.
I just took like a random guess from something I thought was right, so there you go. That was an awesome stab at the dark.
Yes.
So, Steven, how the hell are you, man? It's been a while.
I'm doing all right. How are you feeling? You feeling better this week? I know you were sick last week.
I was sick. We had a bout of stomach flu through the house, which is always a fun time when you have small children that can't regulate their own vomiting properly. So it tends to happen wherever they are, which is awesome. But I'm doing good. The family's doing good. My thumb is doing good. It's all good. Good. It's been a hard
Everything's
time.
Functional.
You know what?
Did you make it to the game?
I did. I got these really awesome seats from a friend. They're like $210 each. And it was one of the best hockey games that I've been to in person, and it was just so much fun. But yeah, I didn't eat or drink anything at the game because I didn't want anything to upset my stomach. So I just sat there for the 3 hours and just like, yay, cheering. This is good. Kara's eating. She's eating like they call it the jumbo jet dog. It's like this bigger than a foot long dog that has like all this stuff on it. It must be like 3,000 calories or something. It's this crazy huge hot dog, and she's eating it, and I'm looking at it out the corner of my eyes. It's like, I kind of want one. No, don't do it. But I kind of want. No, don't do it. Don't do it. You're stupid if you do it. So yeah. But no, I did make it to the game. So that was cool. A nice thing.
That's great. I'm glad you managed to make it because I knew you were concerned that you wouldn't feel well enough.
Oh, they were just so good seats. Like, I mean, I would have strapped a bag to my face and gone if that was what it required. I might have been escorted out by security, but I would have been there, which would have been good enough.
Yes, you would have shown up. Tell the team I was here.
Exactly. Well, I wasn't about to waste $400 seats that I didn't have to pay for. I mean, if I paid for it, I'd be even like more crazy if I didn't go. But these were like a crazy gift from a friend, so I had to use them. But anyway, that's enough about hockey. Let's get into games and the good old Nintendo.
Yes.
Kyle K in the chat room says he hasn't been brave enough to try Jumbo Jet Dog yet. He says the pierogies on it make it look delicious. Yeah, that's one of the toppings you can get. You can get pierogi chunks. It's like little chunks of pierogies on top of it. They have like 6 things you can get on top of it. It's ridiculously awesome. There's like chili,
I would say
bacon, cheese sauce, pierogies, fried onions. There's some other stuff as well.
Pierogies are now a hot dog topping.
Yeah, here because we have. I mean, pierogies are a big Manitoban thing, and we got a lot of people from all over the world. We're a big melting pot, so we have like a lot of Ukrainians and stuff. So it makes sense. I'll show you a commercial one day. One of the best commercials from Winnipeg's past about the good old pierogi maker. But we'll do that. We'll do that off the show. I don't think
on the Pierogi Cast,
on the
Pierogi Pulse,
Cast,
which is recording right after this.
I just registered the domain, so we're going to do that right after this one. It's going to be great.
Cool.
All right, man. Let's get into the show. Steven, what have you been playing since we've already talked about how you've been, kind of. We focused more on hot dogs, hockey, and pierogies, but let's talk about video games, Steven. What have you been playing?
But I'm still wondering what the theme song to Pierogi Pulse would be. It'd probably be like some Polish music or something.
It's gonna have the accordion for sure. There's gonna be lots of accordion and a lot of like oboe in it. That's all I can think of.
Sounds great to me.
Some sort of polka music.
I'm gonna be the first subscriber. Mm-hmm. Okay, playing. Sonic Lost World. Now, you remember a few weeks ago I told you that Sonic Lost World was $30 at Amazon, and You picked that one up too, right? You picked that up on Wii U. I know you've been loving that.
I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't buy it.
Okay.
I borrowed it, so I can return it. In this
okay.
case, it's a good thing. Do you want me to dive right into what I hate about the game?
We can both kind of pile on.
Sure.
From both sides, I think.
Okay. Well, since you brought it up, I'll let you have it, Steven. You can go first.
Well, I'll start with some of the things that I really like about Sonic Lost World. You can take it out of your system. No, I'm kidding. It's actually a really, really pretty game. It looks really good. It has a great sense of motion. The frame rate seems to stay, nice and high.
Somewhere in the US of A, Tony Sadowski is crying.
Yeah. I don't think it's a terrible game. I think it's just it's almost kind of like what you commented on Twitter. It's like these are just not the kinds of games that we enjoy anymore. Yeah. I think that the best looking parts of the game are the parts that are kind of guided by the system, and you're not really doing anything. Mm-hmm. And the parts where you really are moving around, he just moves a little bit too. He's a little too slippery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that the mechanics are very similar to the way they were in 2D. But in 2D, you have a much more precision sense of where you are.
Sure.
So I think it works a little bit better that way. So you've got a lot of the same systems that have been there since, at least since Sonic Heroes, where you had the lock-on. You jump and double-tap the button, and he'll zoom in on things and attack them. But it's just not... it's not like the game is broken. It's not like it's particularly hard to control. It's just not fun. The game is just not fun.
Yeah.
That's about the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Like I played throughout the whole first world, and at the end of that, I'm looking at Kara, I'm like, why am I playing this? There's nothing enjoyable about it. Like there in each world there's 5 little star things that are hidden. There's a bunch of other stuff. But because it's a Sonic game, you're breezing through the game and you're only touching maybe 10 or 15% of the level. So you have to make multiple runs if you want to get all these things. If you try to slow down and collect things, you're going to run out of time. So
or fall through the stage. Like there's good portions of the first stage that just collapse as you run by. It's not like you can take your time.
Yeah, totally. Like I understood why Sonic was fast back on the Genesis, because it was competing with Mario, which was a kick-ass game that was taking America by storm. And they're like, okay, well, we'll do it faster. We'll make it. We'll do it better. We'll make it faster. We'll make it more badass. We'll have a bad attitude. And that really made sense. But those mechanics, to me, they're ridiculous to have in this day and age. Like I want to play the level. I want to experience it. I want to see all there is to be seen. Like, how would you feel to be a Sega level designer? Like, you know that a good portion of the level that you design will probably be seen by maybe 1% of the people that want to make multiple playthroughs. Like it just, I don't know. It just seems really, really crazy. It took me forever to figure out the whole lock-on mechanic, because there's 2 jump buttons. The one jump button, I guess the B button or the A, I can't remember what they are on the Wii U controller. If you just hit that, it doesn't lock on. So it just jumps, but it doesn't lock on. But then there's another jump button that does the exact same jump thing, but it does lock on. So I'd be halfway through playing, I'd be pausing, tweeting, whatever, coming back, and I'd be jumping, and next thing you know, I'd be losing all my rings. I'm like, what the hell? How am I not locking on? And then I'd hit the other button by accident. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, there's a different button. And it was just like, how is that a thing? Why is there 2 buttons that do the same thing except they don't have the second thing? It just, I don't know. It seemed like a huge hot mess to me. There's the Miiverse sharing of items, which is kind of neat, except you fill up on items too fast and then you can't basically use them fast enough for how you get them. So that seems stupid to me, that you're wasting all these things. I don't know. Like it looked great until it didn't. It played great until it didn't. Like it has so many problems. Like the controls, even like you're trying to jump on these little jumpers and you're missing the platform. It's like, but this is a platforming game. I should not be missing the platform so easily. I gave it a go, man. Tony, I listened to you on Twitter. I gave it a chance since you were singing its praises, and it's not good. It's not good. I just, yeah. If I don't ever have to play it again, it's a good thing. Thankfully, I'm returning it tomorrow. So
Yeah. Yeah, luckily we can still go back and play, games like Sonic Rush that still look really good today
yeah,
and play really good, because they're side scrollers.
I'll play Sonic 1, I'll play Sonic 2, I'll play Sonic 3
Sure.
on a Genesis collection, and I'll enjoy it for the 5 minutes that I want to play Sonic, and then it's like, all right, there you go. I ran fast and spun dashed into things, and now I can go play a game that I like. I'm not a Sonic fan, I guess. I tried. It's just not gonna do it for me. Which is funny because I'll be right back.
You're just gonna be right back?
Well, I'm still here, but I'm away from the microphone.
Oh, okay. All right.
One of the games that I picked up when I was at P&P was having a great sale, buy 2 used games, get 1 free. I picked up Sonic Colors because I picked up Sonic World and Lost World, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get another Sonic game that I wanted to play, and I'm scared to even put it into my DS. It's been sitting here out of its game case, and it's sitting on my desk right beside Chibi Robo Park Patrol. Since we talked about Chibi Robo so much in the last episode, it's like, I want to get Park Patrol again. I want to play that game again, so I picked that one up as well. But yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to play it.
I think you should give Sonic Colors a shot if you can do that cheaply or for free.
Yeah,
because I think it's better than Sonic Lost World. I mean, the one for Wii.
Okay, not the DS one.
Not the DS. I don't know if the DS one is actually. The DS one was okay. I played that for a little bit. My daughter got it as a gift, and she didn't have too much of an interest in it, so I tried it out.
Sure.
And I think I actually got it for a gift, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I got some enjoyment out of it. I thought it was pretty good. I think the Wii version is better though.
Okay.
The DS one suffers a little bit from that kind of pudgy, puffy kind of 3D rendered things as a sprite kind of effect.
Right.
So they're trying to get the same look as the Wii one, but the DS just could not do it.
Cool.
But the Wii one is good. It has a lot of side-scrolling areas. There's a lot of platforming, and it doesn't have that whole, okay, it's shoving me through these areas. I can actually backtrack, you know what I mean? It feels more like an older Sonic game, if that's what you want. You know what I mean?
I guess
that's the trick.
That might be what I want. I guess I don't know what I want. Cool. All right. So what else you been playing, man?
The Bravely Default demo.
Still?
I've put about 15 hours into it. Nice. I completed the missions and beat all the bosses by around 8, maybe 9 or 10 hours because I really took my time on it. I did the grinding and got my characters all the way up to experience level 20. All their job levels that are available in the demo are at 4. And I set up another 3DS in my home with the demo so that I could get street passes to one at a time every 5 to 8 hours. I get another town person. I want to get that up to at least 20. From what I understand, you can get it up to 50 in the demo, but only 20 of them will be carried over to the full game.
That's right.
So that's what I'm looking for, is just to get to that 20.
There's an easier way to get your 20 people, right?
Yeah, I know there's a glitch right after the armored turtle boss, but I wasn't aware of that
and you breezed right by
until after I got past that part.
Right. Okay.
So I couldn't do that. So I'm at about 11, I think. 11 people.
Nice.
So not too bad.
Cool.
But that game is still so much fun to play, even though I can't progress anymore.
I'm really looking forward to it, man. I really, really want to get it. So I can't wait until it's like the 7th of February. So what's that? 2 weeks away? Less
somewhere around there. Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be in my 3DS in a couple weeks, and I can't wait.
Now you got your collector's edition pre-ordered, right?
I pre-ordered whatever they can get in. They weren't sure whether they could get the collector's edition. So if they don't get it in, I will just go somewhere else and and get it there, I guess. But yeah, I want the collector's edition. I want all the AR cards.
Yeah, and I think does the US one come with the figure?
No, that's only the one from the UK, which is unfortunate because that figure looks really sweet.
It does look cool.
So I wouldn't mind getting that as well. But
has an art book and a soundtrack CD though. I know that.
True.
Super Renegade Kid in the chat room.
Nice. Welcome, Super Renegade Kid.
That would be cool if that was Jules Watcham. Anyway, let's see. What else? I downloaded NES Remix when it came out, and I didn't get around to playing it until pretty recently.
What do you think?
Good.
Fun?
It's yeah,
Bite-sized gaming. It's an appetizer.
Yeah, bite-sized gaming. Not a whole lot in the way of frustration because you just eventually get there.
Sure. Yeah.
I made myself a promise that I would not progress from game to game or challenge to challenge until I got it 3 stars.
Oh, no, you did that to yourself. Why did you?
I did that to myself. And then on a Donkey Kong stage, I got 3 rainbow stars.
Nice. Yeah.
And I was like,
that's like
rainbow
super awesome.
stars.
That's super awesome.
Which of course meant then I had to go back and make sure I got 3 rainbow stars on everything.
You're gonna hate yourself.
Shortly after I made that decision, I was like, I don't think I'm having fun anymore.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was getting 3 stars on each world and not, or in each level, and not going by until I had 3 stars. And then I really started to hate myself. So I said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I will stop this insanity. And the best part about NES Remix is if you fail at a stage, you can still play the next one. Like it doesn't hurt you. The only thing is you obviously need to start beating stages if you want to unlock other remix challenges. But if there's one that just really gets to you, you can just skip it, which is awesome. I really like the game. I still play it from time to time, but yeah, it's not it's not something that I've been obsessing on, which I guess is a good thing because it is meant for that kind of appetizer gaming type stuff.
Sure. Now, I know that I did that to myself, and that was the main reason that I wasn't enjoying it. But one of the things that I did not do to myself is the response time on the controller for the jumping and stuff like that. There is a lag there that is visible.
Really?
When I press my jump button, Mario should jump, and he does not jump the way he did on the NES when we had wired controllers.
Really? I didn't notice that myself.
Yeah, but I've noticed that on virtual console games as well. Like,
maybe do you think maybe it's some lag on your TV that is only really apparent?
It could be. It could be. I wonder if I
things?
have a game mode on my TV and it was never an issue before.
Weird.
It's a possibility. Weird. Gosh, the technology, the more it changes, the more it stays the same. As Rush said, but they said it in French. All right. Let's see. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. I'm still playing Animal Crossing. I had a birthday. On Sunday was my birthday.
Oh, happy belated.
Thank you.
I should have wished you happy birthday on the show to start off. I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks. Well, you had no way of knowing. So on Saturday night.
I should have known. I should write
this is your job, Lloyd. You had one job.
That's all I need to do. Not running a podcast network or hitting all the buttons to make the show do stuff. It's just remembering birthdays is what I should
just
do.
My birthday.
Oh, that's easy then. That's one thing.
Job a year.
Nice.
One job a year.
Good. Thank you.
So yeah, Animal Crossing. KK Slider will play the song "KK Birthday" for you under one condition. It has to be the Saturday before your birthday, or the Saturday of your birthday if your birthday is on a Saturday. So Saturday night, I had a date, and at about 9 o'clock, I stopped my date and opened my 3DS.
You said, sorry, date. I have another date with someone playing music for me. He's going to serenade me.
I want to introduce you to KK Slider. He's going to sing a birthday song to me. And she thought it was adorable, so it worked out okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes.
Better than I thought it would go. So that's good.
So now I have every song and every bug.
Wow.
And I'm a couple of fish short of having all the fish.
Of a barrel, you mean? A couple of fish short?
Yes, I'm a couple of fish short of a barrel. Yeah. People have been telling me that for years. And the last game that I have on here, I actually have it listed as the first one, is Fire Emblem Awakening. I beat Zelda.
Nice.
As you know, weeks ago. And then I decided that my next game for the 3DS was going to be Fire Emblem. And then the Bravely Default demo came out.
Oh, you're right. Which put that on hold.
So I played the bejesus out of that. And there's no more bejesus to be had. So Fire Emblem Awakening. Although I will say that earlier this evening I was playing the Zelda game again too, to play through some Street Pass tags.
Okay.
Fight some Dark Links. So yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm like maybe 4 or 5 missions in. That game is awesome. I got it for $15.
Oh, what a bargain. That game is... Are you playing on the your characters die, they're gone forever mode, or on the I don't want to hate myself mode?
I'm on the I don't want to hate myself mode. I'm playing casual.
It's the
Casual
best
mode.
thing ever. That's why I never really beat a Fire Emblem before, because I would get so frustrated trying to beat a level without losing anybody. It doesn't matter if it's my favorite character or any character.
Yep.
The casual mode on this just made it for me. Like I think I put about 60 hours into this game, or maybe even more. I'll have to look at my save game. But yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, so far it seems great, and I played a little bit of the GBA one that was on Virtual Console, Sacred Stones or whatever it was called.
Sure.
And I wasn't enjoying it a whole lot in terms of I wasn't enjoying it a whole lot just in terms of the graphics and stuff like that, GBA style graphics. So
right,
but on the 3DS it's great.
Awesome. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, let's get into a little bit about what I've been playing before we get into the meat of the show.
Okay.
The first thing I've been playing is with my new Game Case 18. I ordered the new Zelda Game Case 18 off of Club Nintendo. It has a nice little, it has a Zelda artwork on the front and the back. The interior sleeve of that is a great Triforce with a 8-bit Link, which is kind of nice. So I'm really digging this one. I needed another one since now that my kids have their own collection of DS games, I didn't want to have cartridges littering the living room. So they have their own case to put stuff in. And it also comes with another one with like booze and a bullet bill with a nice black and white background, and then just the standard one. So I spent more points. This is the third one of these stupid Game Case 18s that I've bought, but they're so handy. It's so much better than having multiple cartridges just laying around. So that's the first thing I've been playing with. Of course, there's Sonic Lost World. We already talked about that in the show. Not a fan, though I know there are fans out there, so they can have it. I will not begrudge them that, but yeah, not a huge fan myself. I've been playing also a little bit of the Bravely Default demo, waiting for the full release to come out. I've been doing a lot of Vita gaming, which isn't Nintendo, obviously, but Sony had this really stupid sale called 14 for 14, and they had 14 PS3 and 14 Vita games that were on sale for crazy prices. So things like the latest Sly game was like $5. There was just it was ridiculous. So I've been playing through a lot of games that I've wanted to play for a while, but I picked them up for like pennies on the dollar, which is really damn awesome. That and Minecraft. I don't know if I mentioned on the show, over the holidays I've been playing Minecraft on PlayStation 3, and over the holidays, our family put about 80 hours into this one world where we were building it. I made this huge tower, houses for each of the kids. We had this underground cavern. It was awesome. And then we hit a bug where the save game got corrupted and we lost all the work. Like we spent 80 hours on it. Was very disappointing to me. My wife Kara, who's in the other room, said, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Let's start again. Let's go do something else." And she created this whole other world and just went crazy with that one, which is awesome. That's a good part about Minecraft. But I created all this great stuff. I was really upset. The patch came out, which thankfully just resurrected my save game. My save game just started working again after this patch. So it was just like there was the sounds of angels in the air, and it was great. Got in and then went to bed. So it was too late when I found out that it worked, but I was really super stoked. So that'll be my weekend, is basically jumping in and playing through that world again now that it's been fixed. So I'm super stoked about that. But yeah, that's about it, man. I haven't been doing too much on Nintendo other than some NES remix, Sonic Lost World, and waiting patiently for a bunch of games to come out that I've been waiting for a while. But that's about it. All right, man. Let's jump right into the meat of the show. Notable releases. You had something to talk about.
Yeah, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest just came out pretty recently for Virtual Console. Both of the Virtual Consoles, Wii U and 3DS. Now that was already on the Wii Virtual Console, so if you have it on there, it's only $1 to upgrade it. And there is still no cross-buy on Nintendo's platforms. Even when they release the game on both platforms on the same day, they still don't have any means for you to get both at a discounted price.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Really is.
Yeah.
Some other things came out as well. Mighty Bomb Jack for the Virtual Console and the Wii U, and Life Force for Virtual Console and the 3DS. We'll talk about Life Force in a little bit, but yeah, it's nothing crazy huge has been coming out, but there's been some interesting VC consoles titles coming out, so that's been kind of nice to see. All right, next up, let's talk about some sales. If you've been waiting to pick up Project X Zone, which is that really crazy RPG with Capcom characters, and it's bizarre. I played the demo and loved it. Never ended up picking up the full version, but I think I might because it's dropped in price permanently on the eShop to $20. So it was $39.99, and now it's available for $20. So if you've been waiting for that one, just like me, you can now pick it up on the Nintendo eShop. Cool. But that's not all. You have something else to say for people waiting.
A third-party seller is selling Mass Effect 3 for Wii U, brand new on Amazon, for $11.20.
They wanted that extra 20 cents then. They couldn't have just did like $10.99 or
right.
$11.49.
It's important. So as you can see, I picked up a copy. Not really sure why, aside from it being cheap.
Did you?
Because
play
I already beat it on
that's
360.
That's what I was going to say. You've beat it. You loved it. So, but now you own it for the Wii U. And you opened did you open the box?
No, I haven't opened this yet.
Okay.
And I don't have my 360 copy anymore. So I don't know. Maybe I'll play through it again.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. That's where I played Mass Effect 3. I wanted to see how a full console version of something would play on the Wii U shortly after it came out, and I played through Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U, and I liked it. It was kind of cool having the gamepad there to kind of look at the kind of level layout and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat. All right, cool. Let's get into the rest of the show. Let's jump right into the news. First off, we didn't talk about it last week because we did do a show, but Nintendo announced some huge financial crisis type stuff. They basically came right out and said, we said we were going to sell a whole pile of Wii U's.
What was it, 9 million they were saying?
Yeah, they forecasted 9 million. We're changing that down to, 2.8, I think
2.8 million.
Which is just like, oh my
fiscal year of Wii U's.
That is not good at all.
Yeah.
They've lost money again in this quarter. Their stock took a huge tanking right after all this news. But actually, like not even 2 weeks later, the stock is back up to what it was prior to this announcement. So there was a huge amount of panic in the market. But that's basically come back, and it's disappeared, I guess.
Yeah, and then the investors remembered that PlayStation and Xbox had been running at a loss for the last several years.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Nintendo's the only one been profiting lately.
Buy.
Buy
But you just
back.
told me to sell. Buy. All right, we'll buy. Yeah, it's crazy. Finances are just ridiculous. They hurt my head to think about people selling when companies are making money and buying when companies are losing money, and it's just ridiculous. But anyway, we're not going to get too much into that financial article and any of the press releases that Nintendo got out. Some of the things that Iwata was saying after basically coming out and saying we lost all this money, we're sorry, is that they now understand that the market is moving away from the traditional console and handheld market into something that is more portable. iPhones, iPads, other cell phones from Android, not just obviously iOS. He wasn't talking about, but he basically said some interesting things where Nintendo's going to start looking at other avenues to release, not necessarily release their games, but bring their games to different markets to potentially drive sales on the Nintendo markets. So I just wanted to chat a little bit with you about that. Not too long. We don't want to spend too much time on it. But what did you think of this whole announcement from Nintendo? And what do you think will be sort of the first, the first like dips in the water with their toes? What do you think those are going to be from Nintendo?
I think that the most likely avenues would be for Nintendo to start using things like that Pokédex app that they have for mobile, using things like that to push customers to things like Pokemon X and Y. Maybe they'll put together things like like there's an app that I use for Animal Crossing, for example, called Animal Crossing
Yeah, I have it as well.
New Leaf Guide, it's just called. I mean, if Nintendo started making that kind of a thing, and having it be official and maybe charging 99 cents for it or something like that, maybe putting Miiverse integration into it, that kind of a thing, it could be something to push things along. Something that I thought would actually be a good idea, but I don't know if it would, but just something that popped in my head, would be for Nintendo to put something like NES Remix on mobile. Because it's basically a big storefront for virtual console games. And if you put something like that, a package like that, into people's hands for cheap or free, and all these mobile gamers are playing it and going, oh yeah, I remember Super Mario Brothers. Oh, I can play that on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Maybe I should look at the Wii U.
Maybe I should buy this thing.
And they become aware of the Wii U existing.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
So who knows?
I think that's kind of where this makes sense. Recently on iOS, Sony has released a couple apps for free. They released a Ratchet and Clank app, which was kind of this auto runner, horrible game, but it got people thinking about Ratchet and Clank. It's like, oh yeah, this new game just came out on the Vita and the PS3. They also just recently came out with a Sly Cooper one, which is funny because there's Sly Cooper games on the PlayStation 3 and the Vita, and it's like, hey, I just bought one for the Vita because I remembered it existed. I could see Nintendo doing things like that, like maybe doing like a mini Dr. Mario or a mini Pokedex battle thing, or a AR game with the Mario characters, like similar to what, like, say Disney Infinity did, where they had that little AR game that came out alongside when the game came out on all the consoles. Things like that. I don't think Nintendo's ever going to go full hog into play Super Mario Brothers 1 on your iPhone. Maybe that'll come in the future, but I think they're gonna tread lightly and do some small steps before getting too crazy. Just because I don't see them ever wanting to put their IP, like their real games that they've released, on another platform than Nintendo. Yeah. But they'll come up with something similar. I think they really have to. It's obvious that the Wii U isn't selling. Their idea to come out with a lesser powered piece of hardware with tech to kind of sell it, it isn't working for whatever reason. I love my Wii U. I wish the gamepad was a little bit more full featured. I wish it was more like an iPad than just a game control screen. If it was multi-touch, if you could use it away from the console, stuff like that would have been really awesome. But it's kind of like it's straddling kind of where I want it to be and where they were before with the Wii. And I really think that hurt them. I guess they need money, as all companies do. So releasing some stuff on the iOS and the Android stores would be great to kind of bridge them between now and whenever they come out with their next piece of hardware. And who knows, like if new games come out, maybe the Wii U is going to sell like gangbusters. If it hasn't sold yet, I find that highly unlikely, which is really upsetting because I'm, as I said, a huge fan. But I think jumping into other markets like the App Store it would be a good thing. And it also has the added benefit as they're not putting a game on Sony's box. They're not putting a game on Microsoft box. They can say, okay, well, we're not competing with ourselves in the console market. Although that would make a lot of sense for them as well, because then at least people would be buying those games that aren't buying it now because they don't have a Wii U. But I think they'll do small steps. But I definitely think it's interesting, and it's great that this is actually coming out of Nintendo, because they're a stubborn company. I mean, they're set in their ways. I mean, that's why they are where they are. They come up with an idea and they don't let anybody say that it's stupid. That's why the Wii was a great hit. That's why the DS did so well. I do think that they can still survive as a company. Obviously, maybe the Wii U won't be their final console. Maybe it'll be something in a few years to kind of try to buy back some of the market, but doing things slowly on other avenues might be a really good thing for Nintendo.
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's move on. Couple Renegade Kid news items that we wanted to chat a little bit about. First off, we're recording this on Thursday, the 23rd. Tomorrow, the 24th, it looks like Renegade Kid is going to be announcing finally the first-person shooter that they've been teasing heavily on Twitter that has gotten me all sorts of excited. That there's going to be an actual release of what it is, a news release of what it is tomorrow on IGN. Super looking forward to that. Can't wait. So that's going to be awesome, and I'm waiting with bated breath for that. But even better than that, there was news that came out this week that they regained their publishing rights to the awesome game Moon, which we talked about last episode, Stephen, as one of our favorite handheld first-person shooters ever. So Jules Watcham basically posted on the 14th, so this is a little bit late because we didn't do a show last week, that all of the publishing rights for Moon are 100% officially Renegade Kids. Feels good. So I'm excited. I love all of the first-person shooters from Renegade Kid. Huge fan.
As do I. And I'm not really a first-person shooter person, but I really enjoyed all those DS games.
I mean, the story was what made it, right? I'm looking forward to hopefully playing a republished version of Moon on my 3DS because I think that would be awesome. Can you imagine? Can you imagine walking through the halls in with 3D turned on? I mean, that would be awesome.
That could be really good.
That'd be really good.
We can hope. We can hope. A lot of games don't implement that stuff well. We can hope.
I really want it. I mean, Mutant Mudds did 3D really well, so there's some smart peoples over there. That makes me very excited. But even more than that, I'm super excited to see what Renegade Kid has to announce tomorrow, because I don't care what it is. Take my money. I will buy it. So. Anyway, so any other thoughts on Moon, Stephen?
Only that I think I'd like to play it again, but I think I'd actually prefer to play a sequel, a Moon 2
would be good.
or something else, because I already played through Moon. So as much fun as it would be to play through Moon again, particularly if it's pretty cheap, I think I'd like to play something new.
I meant to dig out my cartridge before we started, but I didn't get a chance to, so we'll have to do that another time. But yeah, so some great news come from Renegade Kid. Love all their stuff that they've been putting out on the DS, and I can't wait to see what they have to announce tomorrow. So by the time this podcast hits, which will probably be on Saturday, the announcement is already out there. So head on over to IGN and check out what the news is, and we'll be sure to dissect all of that next week on the Nintendo Pulse.
Okay.
All right.
I'll be here.
You'll be there? Are you sure?
I'll be there. Will you?
Maybe.
Or are you going to get sick and have another game to go to?
I might have another hockey game to go to, or my thumb might get another Nintendo thumb infection. So we'll see. All right, moving on. Some really interesting news came out this week about the Virtual Console. And that is the release of Life Force. That's not the really exciting part. Life Force was a great game on the NES, really dated, but it just received a eShop release for the 3DS. So that's not newsworthy. What is newsworthy is that this title supports download play. So if you buy a copy and your friend doesn't have one, they can download a small version of it, and you guys can play multiplayer together from one purchase of the game. So you can play multiplayer across multiple DSs. I don't think that's been done before. I tried looking into it before, and I know there's been multiplayer with some of the Virtual Console stuff, but I think this is the first one that has free download play, which is awesome.
That is.
If that is on every single NES release on the 3DS, I could see more people downloading these things. Can you imagine playing Mario with a friend, playing co-op? Well, not co-op, obviously, but pass and play back and forth, but with one copy of Super Mario Brothers. That would be way better than handing your DS back and forth across the room. So
letting my dirty friends touch my 3DS.
Yeah, get your hands off it. It's precious.
Just wash your hands.
My precious. Yeah, exactly.
Just wash your hands.
Hey, they call back from 4 years ago. That's awesome.
It took years, but we did it.
Got to go get some wet naps. All right. So if you've been waiting to get Life Force, I don't know why anybody would, but if you now have the coolest version of Life Force available to you, which is the Virtual Console version that allows you to do download and share multiplayer with a friend from one purchased copy.
Sure.
Cool. All right, man. Steven, you're a game collector, aren't you?
I would say so. I have a few games.
You like the Castlevanias. You like lots of other titles that you have. Lots of
Castlevania. That's the one with the blue bomber, right? And you takes people's weapons.
Yeah, and he does that. I think that's
runs fast, drops rings when he gets hit.
Yeah.
Picks up coins, eats mushrooms.
Yeah.
He has
a
I
drug
know
problem. Definitely has a drug problem. He eats power pellets and mushrooms, so he's a little bit
Eats
iffy.
ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
Well,
I know him.
Well, here's another game for your collection potentially.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not giving you one because you're on Skype, so I can't just hand you something. But if you would like to,
just download it, I guess.
I guess you could. But I think this is not going to be a downloadable version of anything. This is a new Super Nintendo
I would need
game.
a 3D printer, is what you're saying.
You would need a 3D printer and some form of EEPROM burner, I guess, to burn the chips. But this is a new Super Nintendo game that has just come out. It's called Nightmare Busters, and it's out now. It's not out now. It is shipping now. Basically, this game was made in 1994, was never published. But this team called Super Fighter Team, they opened up pre-orders for this game, and they were selling it for $68 in February of 2012. So that seems like a sketchy amount of time to not deliver on that. But if anybody was worried, don't worry. The game is coming out, and it is shipping right now. And I'll link to a Wired article on it, and they actually show it, and it looks like it's an official Nintendo retail release, obviously without any Nintendo titles on it at all, because if they printed Nintendo on it, they would get sued or cease and desisted up the wazoo. But the box art looks like a Super Nintendo game. The interior box looks like a Super Nintendo game. The cartridge looks like a Super Nintendo game. So yeah, Nightmare Busters, a game that was supposed to come out in the 90s, which never released, is basically coming back from the dead 20 years after it was supposed to ship.
I remember hearing about this.
Pretty damn awesome.
It must have been late 2012 or early 2013. I remember reading about a bunch of these games. There are a bunch of games that are planning to be made for these old platforms.
Yeah. There's some people have either found the people that were working on it and bought it from them, or got the blessing to make these cartridges and sell them as kind of one-offs. There's been a lot of these over the years, a lot of NES, even like in television and Atari 2600 games that were supposed to come out that didn't. But this is the first like really big one that looks awesome. Is there as well. So we'll post the link to the story in the show notes if you too would like to buy your copy of Nightmare Busters from nightmarebusters.com. It's available there. You can buy the game. I'm clicking buy the game right now, and I could buy it from PayPal for $78. I guess it's a little bit expensive, more expensive now
shipping.
I didn't pre-order it. So it's a few dollars more expensive because I didn't get to hold on to my money for 2 years almost. But yeah, like how awesome is that? Like, you know, I love retro gaming.
Very.
I love the ability to play these games from my childhood just by pulling out an old console. But this is like a game that people might have even read about in like various game magazines way back in the day. Like this might have been an EGM article advertising Nightmare Busters, and the game never came out. But here it is now. So that's pretty damn awesome.
Very cool.
All right. Well, we talked about the awesome. Let's talk about the sad. Steven, what happened in the world of gaming today that made us all shed one single tear?
Okay. Well, I don't think it was today, but it's recently. Neverland Company Limited, which is a Japanese company that is known for some of the later Shining Force games, the Lufia games, and all of the Rune Factory games. They had some great success in the past couple of years selling copies of their latest one, which is Rune Factory 4. That was originally Rune Factory was a spinoff of the Harvest Moon series with some dungeon crawling and stuff like that in it. The fourth one apparently was the fastest selling Rune Factory game ever, but it was not enough to save the company. They're going under. They are ceasing operations and filing for bankruptcy effective immediately, and the European release of the game has been canceled.
Yikes. Yeah, this came out October 1st in North America.
Yep. I had a look on Amazon for the game the other day, and it was listed. It has a listing there, but it says it's currently not available. So it's unknown whether they will come back in stock or if they're gone. And if you didn't get a copy, you can't get one. And 3 months from now, they're going to be $150.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if I should just go pick one of these up just to put on the shelf and see what the value will happen. At the end of the day,
it's supposed to be an excellent game.
I will have a game that I could play, but maybe I could have an investment. I could put my kids through college.
Who knows?
Probably not, though.
Or maybe they'll be heavily discounted and millions of copies will come pouring onto shelves.
They'll be sold to regain some of the money because of the Chapter 12 filing. So Chapter 11? Chapter 11, right? That's bankruptcy for corporations.
Yeah, Chapter 7 and Chapter 11. I think, Chapter 11, I think, is businesses.
So, there you go. I'll pour one out for Neverland Co. Limited, which is a super generic name. But Shining Force, Lufia, Rune Factory may not exist ever again unless they decide to sell off their assets to another company that will take them up and republish them or come up with new versions. It's kind of sad when you see, like, I don't think I've ever played a Rune Factory, but I've seen it and I've seen lots of articles on it and I've read a lot of stuff about it. It's like a friend that went to your high school that you didn't know, but you knew of him, but you didn't know him. And then he like gets really sick or something and you kind of feel bad, even though you really didn't know that person. So that's how I kind of feel now. I feel sad that I never played a Rune Factory before. I might have to go check out number 4.
I played the first one a little bit and it was pretty good. But it wasn't my copy of the game, so I couldn't really dive into it very much.
Sure. It
was cool.
Cool. All right, man. I think that's going to about do it for episode number 71 of the Nintendo Pulse podcast. We do this each and every Thursday at vgpodcast.com. If you want to subscribe, vgpodcast.com/Nintendo Pulse /NP, actually, if you want to go to the actual, I should say the actual URL when I'm saying the URL, not just make stuff up, Steven. So it's vgpodcast.com/NP. You can just go to vgpodcast.com and check out all the shows that we do here on the VG Podcast Network. We want to hear from you guys. Send us an email, vgpodcast@gmail.com, or call our voicemail line, which is area code 505 VG Podcasts. Steven, how can you be found on Twitter?
At Stephen J. Munn.
That's
at STEPHENJMUNN.
That's a mouthful as well. Yeah, you should. SJM, maybe.
Probably taken.
Probably. Well, I'm at DazMe on Twitter, so if you want to follow me on Twitter to find out when we do these live shows, please do. But other than that, this is going to about do it for this episode. Take it easy, guys and girls, and we'll talk to you in about a week's time. Later, everybody.
Bye.